Well, disc golf fans, we meet again. This is Derek and Chris with Gatekeeper Media. We're bringing you part 2, back 10 coverage for the 2019 Long Island Open, presented by Element Discs. And this event was sponsored by Discraft, so big shout out to them and the PDGA as well. Our coverage is brought to you by Millennium Golf Discs, as always, our proud sponsor. Let's get into it. How you feeling for the back 10 here?
I feel like Bobby is the best player out on the course, and it shows.
Well, he definitely has earned his rating.
Yeah.
For sure. It shows that he is the only 1,000 rated player on the field.
I'm real excited just with these other three guys, how that's really going to pan out, because, I mean, 2 strokes between them, each of them can really kind of mix things up.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we're going to start on this first hole. This is basically just a straight shot. It's going to be pretty tight, and it's going to kind of fade down to the left.
And if my information is correct, I believe this is the only hole on the course that has been aced.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Comes in pretty short at 263 feet, so definitely I could see that.
Mm-hmm. I think recently they did have a tree get knocked down, or some natural adjustments have been made, so I think it plays a little easier. This one leaning, I think, is missing now.
Go for the skip. So Bart,
that's a little ballsy. I don't know.
Skip shot.
Now, I don't know if he was planning that, but if that's your intent, kudos to you.
Especially with all that mud.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, good shot.
Happy tree.
Yeah. There it is again. I mean, this just shows why Bobby is awesome.
Well, I think Bobby is a natural left-handed person.
So he probably rights left.
Yeah. And then another fun fact, I believe Jeff is a natural righty.
Right, now you're spinning me around. I don't know who's what hand at this point. All I do know is that Nick is going to knock in the birdie.
This is a birdie you want to get.
Yeah.
If you're parring this, you're definitely losing a stroke to the field.
Yeah. I would agree. Bobby unfortunately does have to take the 3. Same with Bart. Jeff with a real nice tap in though.
Yeah, he's climbing on up.
Yeah.
Closing the gap inch by inch.
Yeah. Separation. He's kind of living in no man's land right now, just by himself. Hole 13, this one, par 4, 625 feet. Just a real long fade to the right.
Yeah, essentially you wanna put yourself a good 50 feet ahead of the short tee pad.
Oh no. Oh man, this is like a lefty hole too. He probably would want that back, but it's not a bad spot to be.
Mm-hmm. I think I said 50 feet short. Didn't mean that. 50 feet past the short tee pad. Kind of like that.
Good shot there.
Little bad reaction. Puts him a little closer to the edge than he'd like, but still going to have an extremely playable shot from there.
This is looking really good from Bobby. Oh, spoke too soon.
He's pretty close to the edge. Not a lot of underbrush there.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. This needs to turn. No. Right. Hey, it's better to go down there than for it to fade to the left and end up in sticker bushes.
It's really muddy in the middle, kind of where the bend truly starts.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm guessing a lot of the mud in the tracks are because this is the park that there's probably rangers that come through a lot, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yeah. Also, the water table's super low because it's right on a beach. So there's spots that are prone to get pretty mushy.
So Nick had that really good first shot. Second shot barely misses that mud, and he's going to have a look for his birdie. Bart needs to get down. He's just hitting these these trees.
He's just lifting up his shots a little too much on this hole.
He's got to get the nose down. That was a good scramble from Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby's a little deeper. Let's see if he finds himself a gap.
Yeah, just about there.
Ooh,
All
nice
right.
putt. He knocks that in.
Yeah, run that out, Jeff.
Yeah, what are you doing? Do you have to run? Isn't that part?
No, it's not. It's not part of the rules, but I guess in some circles it might be.
Well, I mean, like,
No,
yeah.
it's. I'm. Yes, I know what you
Yeah,
mean. It's.
yeah.
I would say it's pretty customary.
Yeah. Ooh, very good putt. So I guess if you wanted to be a jerk, you could literally be like, no.
I refuse to run.
I refuse to run it out.
I run nothing.
So Nick with the only birdie. It's going to tie him up with Bart. We're going to move into hole 14. This one, once again, we're out in the open. Kind of want to throw something that's going to fade over to the right. Once again, I feel like this course might have been designed by a lefty. I feel like a lot of these holes are tailored towards the lefties.
It's a pretty good spot to be for Nick, though.
Yeah.
But here's the lefty. Little kind of hyzer flip.
As you would expect, with a little bit of skip. It's a far hole for like a par 3, though. 440 feet. For just an average player.
Now, Bobby really revved up for this
Yeah.
one. You see he was further back on this tee pad than ever. And he pumped it pretty deep into the woods there. That didn't hold the turn quite as well.
Not a terrible spot, though. Jeff's going to find himself with an easy 3. Ooh.
That might have slipped out of his hand or something. All right. That'll work.
Get up.
You're laughing over there. Is there something you want to share with the class?
I just thought when he threw that, he looked like a ballerina because he was like up on one leg. I just thought it was funny. Oh, no. That's the second time he had a strong side.
Yeah.
Like spit through the chains.
Astute observation. I was just about to say the same thing.
And Bobby Blue Shorts knocking his bogey. Oh, I'm sorry. That was
But
Bart.
it's Bart.
I know. There's a lot of bees getting thrown around. Good shot from Nick. Tapping par there for Jeff.
I think I'm going to say that this might be the most fun I've been doing commentary in quite a while. This is, thank you to the Long Island crew for letting us be a part of this event. Overall, everyone involved during the day, super great to be around.
Yeah.
Really welcoming, and really solid group of players to watch. Fun golf to watch on a sweet course.
And I hope they enjoy our coverage, and I hope we will be out next year. So we're going to see another catch cam action. Is this one something that's going to dog leg over to the right? Nice. How'd that feel?
Great.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it looked really good. I was able to kind of maintain. And folks, you probably know I don't do that very often. I'm not out on the receiving end of the disc too much.
Yeah, it's a totally different ball game. So Bobby, green shirt. Just throw a hyzer up into this open spot here. It's par 4, so your second shot's the one that's going to matter.
And he was hugging the tree line with a razor edge.
Bart's going to do something very similar. I'm liking
His is a
the
little
angle.
flatter, yeah.
I'm liking that a lot. It's a good spot.
Yeah, good, 15 feet ahead of Bobby?
Yeah. There's that roller. Yeah. That was nice.
It's like, I kind of want to try that too. But different. I really am impressed with the turnover shots that this card can really dish out. They don't really have much of an option.
Seriously. Except for Jeff. What did Bobby throw? Like his roller went like there. 50 feet past the basket? That's awesome.
So it's almost not worth it at that point. Because then your putback is almost as far.
I don't think he was trying to go that far.
Yeah, it should have cut a little sooner.
Yeah, I mean, look how far his bag goes. Yeah. Ooh.
So Bart's finding the top of the pin quite often today.
I noticed his putting style. He has more of that like kind of up and over, kind of hit the chains instead of like attacking it. He has more of those lofty putts. It's kind of how I putt. Oh no. Uh-oh.
That's where he goes, edit that part out.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeff. We keep it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Keeping it honest over here at Gatekeeper Media.
Pars around the field, though. All right, moving into hole 16. This one, once again, thrown up against the open field and trying to penetrate the tree line. This one, though, has a pretty low hanging trees in front of you, so...
Yeah, it definitely takes the spike route out of play.
But this is looking really good. Good flight. You just got to watch out for that OB.
Yeah, he's going to like that.
Yeah, that ain't a bad spot. So Jeff's, that stands up nice. Fade, just not as much power.
Still a good position, though.
For sure. I mean, 450-foot par 3, that's nothing to scoff at. That's got to really, really crank it to get there. Good spot for Bobby. I would say I would rather be over to the left where he is, where Nick was kind of more to the right. You can kind of get pinched over there behind that tree line. I would say even kind of where Bart is. That should be fine.
But if you're actually a little past that tree there's a pretty good opening if you're too far to the right. Believe it
Interesting.
Or not. Yeah. There's like more of a back door from over there.
Ooh. Jeff was getting frisky. That was a good putt. That was risky throwing right at that tree. But yeah, that's a good spot for Bobby. So you're saying if Nick was just like a little bit farther,
if he was a little deeper,
that tree,
you'd have a clean look. See the lane.
Yeah,
that
even that was pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's a good putt. We see another par frame. As we are going to see what Greg Barsby wants to say in just a second.
Well, I think it's cool that I'm throwing the Scorpius just for the simple fact that they produce them. It's a disc that's very similar to the Destroyer. It has a really similar feel since it was based off of the original Destroyers. It's just not as overstable. I would say for guys that don't have as much power, this is basically, a long-range, multi-purpose shooter, whether it be backhand or forehand. This disc was vital right off the bat.
Big shout out to Greg Barsby and Millennium Golf Disc. I know they still do have some of those commemorative edition Scorpius as well as his own signature series Scorpius.
No, I looked it up. There's no more quantums on the website.
No more quantums. Today. We are sold out. That's good to hear. It's a great disc. So we're going to move into hole 17. one's a pretty standard hyzer there for a righty. Nick unfortunately catches that right side tree.
A little more run up from Jeff than we're used to here.
Surprised he didn't just select to go with a lefty hyzer. I guess there wasn't really a look for it.
Well, and Bobby just steps up and crushes it.
Yeah.
How is that even fair? With the generous skip,
Yeah, that's a good shot.
he might be close to circle.
Yeah.
That's a great looking shot from Bart, too.
That was very good.
He sneaks through as well. Something a little late, but
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Not a bad spot.
Now, we did have to look for a minute here because it did nestle in
Got it
right in the
some
middle
tall
of that
grass.
rough.
Well, that was a good reaction.
Yeah, for sure. Nick finds himself short. He's going pretty risky and trying to find that tight gap, and he just can't.
Try to be risky and it bites you sometimes. That could really kind of throw your round off.
Now I know that was definitely a 2 that Bobby wanted.
Yeah.
With such a clean pull on that drive.
Bart had potential.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of foliage here, folks.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hits the pole.
I was going to say, Nick has really been on with his putting.
Again, dialed in. He's hitting metal the majority of the time.
It's a good putt from Bart. It's a good
to
save.
clean up.
Yeah. Should get some tap-ins here.
God, I hope.
Yep.
Just a delicate little placement.
All right, hole 18 coming in at 345 feet. Once again, this one is a little more tighter than what we've been seeing the past couple holes, but got some big trees you got to worry about. Pretty technical overall, though. I mean, something that's going to fade over to the left. Ooh, that took a back kick.
This is one of my favorite holes on the course.
Yeah, you have a pretty low ceiling as well.
Yeah, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
For a righty, honestly, I think that you'd want to play the flex down that right path and just let it dump closer to the green.
Oh, no. That's not terrible, being over there. I'd rather be in that spot than where Bobby went over. He kicked really bad to the left.
Yeah, if you're for well, another tree reaction, but fairway right, still pretty open.
Yeah. About pin high now, not a bad spot.
Yeah, it might be slightly obstructed by a few trees, but
So it looks like Bobby was pretty lucky that he was. I thought he was deeper in those woods. It's actually not that bad of a spot to be.
no, salvage the 3.
But I think it's that leaning tree there. It just kind of gets you.
Ooh, good bid from Nick.
Look at that.
It was an
Delicate.
interesting play.
Yeah, a little delicate flick roller for 70 feet. Jeff's in. Bart is in. How about Bobby Blue Hat? He's got a blue hat on.
There you go.
Bob's in as well. And Nick should be in as well. We're going to have to see another par frame. I feel like we almost need to start carrying like a little par frame counter down at the bottom of our coverage.
Yeah, for this one.
Hole 19. This is a shared tee box for short and long, coming in at 343 feet. par 3. I do believe this is turned into a par 4, and they do extend it back. No, it's not going to be this one. I do believe it's the next hole. So this is a pretty tight shot as well.
It didn't get stable.
No. It's a good-looking shot for a righty if you can get it to the right of that tree on that gap.
Very close.
Do exactly what Bart did there. Just pucker up and hope you don't hit the tree. It's that one tree that kind of just hangs over. Then you got tree branches hanging on the other side.
Yeah, that wasn't as low as you'd like, but not the worst reaction.
The lefty's going to go right at the tree.
It's a happy second tree.
I do like that lefty line over there, though. If he would have went to the left of that tree, probably would have had a really nice skip. Probably would have been, I don't know, probably like 50, 70 feet out. Oh. Don't worry, folks. No 2-meter rule.
Yeah. This is East Coast golf.
Yeah.
I think now's the time. I'd like to hear what people think about the 2-meter rule, actually. So if you're listening in, give us your thoughts in the comments. Predominantly is pretty regional, I think.
Yeah. I would say the general public probably disapproves. They don't want to see that in their tournaments. Good putt from Jeff. Really picking it up here at the end.
All right.
All right, Sam. Should all be tapping range. Looks like it's got some down trees there. I wonder if that was from some storm. A lot of leaning trees here, I noticed.
The whole course has a tilt to
Yeah.
one side, if you didn't know already.
Like it's tilted on an axis. So Bart with the only 2. Big difference. Trying to move into hole 20. It's going to be straight down this tunnel, and you're going to have a nice little fade to the right.
Yeah, this is the one that got pushed back a little bit.
Yep.
So it's going to be probably another. They actually are playing it a little interesting because there is they turned it in, I believe, an island hole.
Interesting.
So you do have to cross the path to get over to the green.
Yeah, they made it a par 5 as well.
Now, this was the part of the day where when we walked up to this hole, there was a 5-card pileup.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, knowing that there's only 2 holes left.
Yeah, it's a really easy way to cool down and lose the last bit of your game.
Yeah. At that point, just give me a couple strokes. If I'm Bobby. And the name of the game at this point is just keep it on the fairway. It does get a little tighter as we get farther down the fairway. But as long as you don't go too deep and you can throw the shot you need to throw.
Oof.
As you could see, that was...
Got stuck.
Once again, that was a lefty hyzer shot flick for Bobby. I think that was the first time we actually saw that. Didn't pan out good for him. But even this, you're pinched off pretty good there from Nick. Luckily at 660 feet, that's not too bad of a par 5. Looks like some type of... Ooh.
It's safe, though.
Yeah. It's not the worst. Just too stable for Nick. He's pulling out that lefty forehand. So basically it just seems like if he's throwing forehand, he's throwing lefty. Look at... Oh. Look at that. Get in.
This parking area was all disc golfers, by the way.
Cool.
This event sold out in about 11 minutes. 16.
Yeah.
One of those.
Nah. They're both in the teens. Doesn't matter. Good putt from Nick. So he's still battling Bart for that third place spot there. Oh no.
That battle might have just got a little easier.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So he's going to lose a stroke. That's going to tie him up. Bobby actually showing a blemish. He's going to lose a stroke as well. He's going to lose 2 strokes to Jeff.
21 is another really beautiful hole. You're basically just shooting right up the middle of the fairway. It's going to have kind of picturesque. Has some nice rows of trees. Coming in at 422 feet.
Oh, look at that.
And you're still playing with a relatively low ceiling here, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is textbook.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I was going to say, as long as it stays in the middle, you're good.
Yeah.
Playing with that left side there. Carries forward.
That works.
Just about pin high.
I think it's safe to say at this point that Bobby will be taking home this title. Good win for him. He really put up a solid round in round 1. They really just built a big enough lead where second round he really got to just play conservative golf.
I feel like that's kind of the best possible outcome, right?
Yeah.
Round 2 is always where, you start getting tired, so put yourself in a good position.
Fatigue will get to you. 2 rounds in the 2 days that you normally see from just B tiers to C tiers, they're tough.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, the weather couldn't have been nicer than this day.
Yeah. So Bart's going to begin 6 under, 1 under for the round. Overall, pretty good showing. Jeff kind of just played par golf almost the whole day. A couple birdies there. And he was able to sneak past. He fought with Bart this entire round and found a way to get back, shooting 4 under.
Respectable.
Yeah. It was a really great round. And Bobby, he lost a couple strokes at the end, but did not matter. He had a big enough lead.
He had plenty to spare.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look at these final scores from this card. So Bobby Cowperthwait running away with it, 13 under. Jeff Sullivan stayed in second. We have Nick, Bart finishing out. So we're going to look at the payouts and the scores. So look at that hot round from Wilt, coming all the way in second. Shot at 8 under. He's going to finish 9 under for the round. That's going to be it.
I had a lot of fun with this one, folks. I hope you did as well. As always, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and keep up with all of our new content.
Yeah,
Thanks again.
We have a lot coming.
Oh yeah, as always. See ya.